Daniel.
The challenge was to make something that is super versatile, but makes you also productive.
He sketches.
And it needs to be a perfect companion for you at your workspace.
Pen and ink drawings of headphones.
How are we going to do something new that Microsoft hasn't done before?
How do I design something that I would love? So beautiful that you don't even think about it, you just want it.
What is the future of the human experience?
What are the experiences you would want to hear in audio?
Hi there.
What's on my calendar today?
Do I find an assistant valuable?
Those are all the things we sort of have to take into account and even start understanding for ourselves as designers.
Behind the D_sign, Microsoft Surface headphones.
How are we going to be different? Why Microsoft? How are we going to stand apart from everybody else?
Interviews with designers.
You know, where do you start?
Why human science in a technology company?
Outdoors, a man wears the headphones.
So we said, well, who's the technology for? It's for the human. I go as Gopal, and so nobody forgets me. And so I say my name twice. Different story.
My name is Daniel Dont. I'm industrial designer for the Surface headphones. Nowadays, there are so many devices and experiences asking for our attention.
How do you create a sense of personal space within an open office environment? We kind of believed and went with this notion that when you do have your headphones, you can actually escape into another world.
Tsitsi Kolowole. Erica Kelter.
We wanted not to do just a music headset. We wanted to build a productivity headset.
Sarah Siri.
This product would really help you by canceling out the noise around you or amplifying the noise around you if people were to talk to you. So we thought this was the perfect kind of work companion device.
We said, why don't we give the human, the actual user of a headphones, to control how much noise they want to eliminate and how plugged in they want to be the environment.
Volume dials.
We came up with the idea of the dial. I rotate the dial, I can increase the amount of cancellation. Rotate it one other way, I can begin to hear everything around me.
An echoic chamber.
Victor, can you change the noise to aircraft noise, please?
Designed by Gopal.
And then make it louder too, so I can play with my noise cancellation headphones.
The quietest room in the world. Guinness World Record.
We try to make sure the experiences feel very natural and intuitive.
We got inspired by hi-fi stereo sets, where the volume knob has a certain slowness to it. And that's something we wanted to mimic. We tested out like 10 different sets of creases to really make it the right smoothness, stickiness, and fluidity. We can just come up with new ideas, review them, talk about them, change them, take each other's ideas and, lift them even higher. And it's a great atmosphere.
Drawing a rounded shape on a large screen.
We put a lot of effort into the design aesthetic at the beginning.
Headphone components on display.
It's really challenging to actually find this balance in the look, that it doesn't look busy and it actually looks approachable. Not to overwhelm anybody with too much expression, but keep it kind of open and give the opportunity for people to express themselves. This was starting a new product line within Surface. So Surface is a lot about metal, very sheer, shimmery silver tones. And it was challenging because we had to use plastic for lightweight. The idea of having these two tones of gray, that came actually from that metallic feel that you have shadow and you have the light.
Comparing shades of silver and gray.
So the archetype of the Surface headphones is a beautiful headband that is very profiled to the head and has these little wings at the end. Everything happens on paper first and aesthetically, and then you start to build prototypes and you start to see if it works, if it's nice, if it's too thick, if it's elegant.
Handling the headphones.
The wings actually make it come closer to the head, so it fits nicer over the head profile.
We in Human Factors do study the human, the diversity of humans. right ear, left ears are different. For some people, this is more flared. For some people, it's more closed off.
In a head scanning chamber,
Everybody's heads are different. We've got people with different head sizes, head shapes. That's a major challenge, isn't it?
examining ear pads or ear muffs,
We must have gone through at least 60 different designs. Okay, this is gonna take a while, but it's worth it. That's how you get into where you want to be.
We spent about a total of 3 years developing this product. It needs to be done right. User group testing that you're
From the beginning, it was really clear for us that the earmuffs itself that are actually touching you all the time, that's the most important feature. We ended up with this very complicated design. And then we just had this determination that, well, let's try. With textile, you always have to have a seam if you have two complicated parts. From the side view, the two materials come together and they're pressing against this foam. And it just created this small ripple. It was creating more of a shadow. It wasn't looking really nice. What if we cut a tiny little groove to the foam and we actually put the seam inside that groove? Everybody was going like, this is never gonna work. But then we tried it. We prototyped some more and then we got it to work. And we had this perfect earmuff with no wrinkles.
a thumb traces the side of the earmuff.
Everything started to come together. And I think that was one of the major milestones in the design work, in the physical design work, that we felt, okay, we're getting there. We're getting where we want to be, and we're reaching the super high design vision that we targeted.
Models of the headphones and its internal speaker.
In our studio, we kind of came up with this idea of using vignettes.
Good morning, Chris. You have 3 meetings today starting in...
The vignettes are really sort of like this quick moment that allows you to see a character moving through, a set of experiences or a scene or interacting with people, and you get a sense of how that device would work.
Really understanding, what we're trying to build and why we're building this. I want to make sure that we are solving human problems, like real human problems. This was the first ambient device from Microsoft with an assistant.
I see 3 events for today.
Other devices that we're building, we have a clear visual understanding of what happens on the screen. Now we were building something with this digital soul, but it's all in audio.
So now the headphones change the dimension. They now become intelligent edge.
I'm excited to kind of see how we evolve into this space. This is probably just the start of like many really interesting modalities that we'll see in the future.
The designers in conversation.
Form and function ultimately have to fuse in harmony. That, I think, is the ultimate design. So human-centric design.
Gopal in the anechoic chamber.
Good design is this idea that the object that I use or the experience that I have just feels like it fits into my world. If you can nail that, then you've nailed everything.
Photos of Titi and Daniel handling the headphones.
Good design is actually something you would not necessarily notice. Good design is something that once you start to wonder why it is like that, that you think, hey, there were a lot of problems solved actually here.
Designing something that achieves your goals takes a lot of prototyping. And you can't be afraid of trying something that feels funny or impossible or even stupid. So you have to just be open to this idea of failing. If you fail fast, you can move on. If you don't try something, like actually try it, you will never know.
The designers consult at a laptop.
I'm curious, what is the response you would love from someone who's using the headphones for the first time?
A customer dons the headphones in a Microsoft store.
It's usually something very emotional and not super tangible, but I would want someone to say how much they love them.
The customer beams.
Makes me proud being able to have done this project, seeing your work out there, seeing people appreciate the product.
Do you want to go up and say, I made this?
I just let them enjoy it, yeah.
Daniel grins. Microsoft Surface headphones, designed with heart shape. Microsoft.